Right, y'all. We got more for you. We definitely got more for you. And thank you for bearing with us. If you showed up at a particular time because a diamond told you that was her interview time, she was right. It is me. I am running behind. This happens every year because I always want to make sure that I get all my questions out and that the diamonds get to share because this is a lot of work. They put a lot of work into this. And so I'm going to bring out our next diamond writer, another one who has been with us before. She's actually, this is her second anthology with us. In year one, she jumped in both feet, hit the ground running, and began cultivating a space for others. That is how ministry is supposed to work. When you get something, especially good news like the gospel, you're supposed to run out and tell it to somebody else. And that's exactly the type of work that she did. She was cultivated and nurtured here and then has run with it and has been helping others. So look, I'm gonna stop talking. Let me just go ahead and bring her out. Where is Miss Sweets Rice? Hello, boo. Hi.
Hi.
How
Hi.
are you? Happy Sunday.
Excited.
That's right. Show it all. Show it all. Okay, because she's beautiful. Hi, how you doing?
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tima.
Good evening, afternoon, wherever we are. Yes. How are you today?
I'm excellent. I'm nervous, but I'm here.
And I'm here for it. It's okay. Look, I I'm gonna give you your time. I know we running behind, but folks ain't got nothing else to do. They can stay here with us. Come on, don't rush us. Please introduce yourself and introduce your chapter.
So I am Sweets Rights. My name is Tiara, and I'm a mother. I'm an epilepsy advocate. I'm a business owner, a workshop facilitator, a mom, a friend.
All the things.
Yes. And my chapter is Audacity Be a Daughter, and I basically talk about my relationships with my father figures as a child and release some of those heavy daddy issues.
Mm, yeah, you go in on that chapter. If you wouldn't mind, just I want them to get the book. I do want people to get the book, but your chapter is so powerful in terms of what many women, Black women in particular, have struggled with, where you were aware that there was a father involved, right? There was a father somewhere. You had a dad, right? But then you had other men who stepped in, and being able to navigate those relationships while still building something with your real dad, like I hate that people in the world call them bio dads, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
what was that like for you in terms of putting it on paper? Like the realization of this is what I've been navigating my entire life and then sharing it with others. What was that like for you?
It was um it was closure. I had to dig really deep. It was uncomfortable.
Mhm.
I had to have some really uncomfortable conversations with
Yeah.
some of the people that were involved, in that time of my life. So
Yeah.
touching back on those experiences and reliving them can be very painful. My stepdad isn't even here anymore, so I couldn't even speak with him and get any big closure from him. But my biological dad also isn't here, but I was able to still receive closure from speaking to people. Um, it's so interesting how the release during the process of writing. And I wrote my chapter, got it out, and not too long after it was submitted, my mom gave me some letters that my dad had wrote her when I was a child. And so I was able to get closure through those letters and a lot of answers that were given. So the process itself opened the door to make
Yeah.
room for what I needed
Yeah.
to come in. So it was um it was a well needed process. Something
Man,
I'm glad that I faced.
that is like I have chills because I don't know if people's truly hearing the way you're saying it. Like you had to open the wound in order to receive the healing. And when you think about it from the standpoint of how we treat wounds, we cover it with a band-aid and we think as long as it's covered, it's healing. Sometimes you got to take the band-aid off and expose it because it needs air. It needs
Yeah.
more to heal. And that is the deepest part of who we are, being able to expose ourselves to receive that healing work. That It is such a powerful chapter. I've read the book a few times, but every time I've read your chapter, there was something new that I saw in your confessions and in that release that you wrote about. Tell me, how has this journey, this particular chapter, writing this, been different from the one you wrote prior?
The biggest difference with this one was actually seeing God's face.
Mm,
In the last chapter, I did touch on some things, but with this one, I guess it was something that I've been carrying through my childhood. So it was a heavier circumstance.
mhm,
And being able to finally recognize that it was an issue because I didn't know that I had a daddy issue. I didn't know or realize that the relationships that I had with those men were really affecting the relationships that I was having as an adult. I
mm,
didn't make the connection. And so when I was finally able to make the connection and then to realize that I didn't have to go to anybody else for the answers but God, when God actually shook me up and said,
mhm,
listen, look at my face.
mm,
That's when it was just like, oh, wow. And it gave me an opportunity to look at the whole situation in a different light. Because
wow.
being in the situation, in the pain, you're angry with people. So you're mad at how these people, how they did or didn't do.
Mhm,
But when God was able to step in, He allowed me to see where those people were. They
mhm,
weren't ready, you
mm.
know?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't my pain to carry.
Mm,
I was able
mm.
to realize what they needed or didn't have and move forward from that and to recognize that even in my loss, what I had was even greater, which
Come
was God.
on. Come on. I'm gonna need somebody to drop that in the comments. It wasn't my pain to carry. That's a bar. That is a bar. I'm gonna need somebody to go ahead and put that in the comments and then quote Sweets Right said it. But that is powerful. And do you feel like, look, this is one of my questions, but I y'all know I follow spirit, not y'all. But do you feel like having the closure and recovering, the recovering the letters from your dad, do you feel like that opened up your capacity to receive God as a father? Do you feel like that had something to do with how you looked at God as a father?
Honestly, I was able to before the letters, um we both were in a virtual meeting
Mhm.
and with Tiffany Bethia,
Mhm.
and that particular event was my breakthrough. Tiffany allowing me to be in that moment. So the conversation was about being a daddy's girl. I
Mhm.
have no idea what that feeling is like. I've never had that. It's something that I've always wondered what it felt like. So when all of the sisters were talking about how good it feels to be the daddy's girl and be able to go to your daddy for this and go to your daddy for that, I was getting upset and I was getting hurt. And so I
Mm.
shut down my camera and I muted my microphone, and she noticed that
Mhm.
and she called me out. She was obedient.
Mhm.
She called me out, and in that space God was able to speak to me, and I was able to recognize in that moment that I am a daughter.
Yes. Come on.
And so I was looking for it from somewhere else because that's what we're taught. You're
Yep.
taught to look at it from your parents. But what I know now is that I am a daughter. I have
Mm.
the audacity to be God's daughter.
Come
And
on.
so no man can replace that.
Ooh, that is so good. That is so good. Shout out to Tiffany Bethia. Yes, I remember that session that we were in with her. An amazing work that took place. I'm so glad that. Listen, I could be here on this topic all day. All right, so tell us what you hope readers take from the chapter, and tell us what's next for you and how they can connect with you and support what you're working on.
Well, I hope what they receive from the entire book is audacity to do
Come on.
exactly what they were called to do. Yes.
Yes.
But particularly to know that you can always advance your relationship with God. So if you
Yeah.
thought that you had a relationship with Him, you can reevaluate that and you can level up and build a stronger relationship with God. That's what I would like for them to get from my chapter. As
Mhm.
far as finding me, you can find me on Instagram at Sweets Rights. Remember, it's two T's because I'm TT.
Yes.
And you could also find me on Facebook at with Tiara Berry, and my TikTok Sweets Rights, but my E at the end is a three.
Okay.
But
Next time I'm
that's
gonna
what you
have that
guys can find.
scrolling for y'all. I'm gonna have it scrolling. It's gonna make it easier for y'all. Yes, yes. And what's next for you?
Well, every Tuesday I'm in Harlem doing journaling workshops. So if anybody want to come and do a journaling workshop,
Come
they can
on.
follow me on Instagram and get the information for that. But I'm definitely working on a book about my son's journey with Rasmussen's encephalitis. And I've been taking my time with that book. I'm super excited about it. So that will probably be my next big publication. Other than that, I do
Yes.
have some journals.
And we love that. No, don't say it like that. Don't say it like they just this matter of fact. No, she has some journals. Y'all need to go check her out on Amazon or go directly to her Instagram and order those journals. Go ahead and get you some, get you some. And then, like she said, go ahead and register for her journaling classes on Tuesday. Y'all want to get some because that is the secret to our release is through journaling. And if you were ever to come into this space, you would get beat over the head with journaling because I say it all the time. So, Tiara, thank you so much, of course, not just for being here today, but for contributing to Audacity, for being a part of this community, for being a part of our I Shine team, and all the amazing things that you're doing. Of course, we champion you, and I absolutely love your story about being audacious enough to be a daughter, the audacity to be a daughter. I hope this helps so many women, not just those who deal with fatherlessness, but those who have who have challenges connecting with God the Father because
Yeah.
of what their earthly father may have done to them or put them through or didn't do, as you said. So thank you for the audacity to share your story so boldly. All right, listen, we got more diamonds for y'all. Tiara, hang out, stick around. And thank you again for the interview. Love you much. But I gotta move this thing forward. Mwah. I gotta move this thing forward, y'all. I know I got more people. I know I got more folks to bring out to y'all. See you soon, Tiara. All right, we're going to keep it moving. I do want to do a giveaway shortly, but let me get these additional diamonds in here